My main takeaways for this project was that intervention needs to happen earlier in the middle school years. Engaged and connected students will have better chances of success. My next steps are going to be compiling current intervention information and comparing it with my interviews. I would also hope to do more interviews with students in the future, as well as set up an interview with a GED teacher. I still would like to get their insight as to why they feel that students are dropping out, as well as maybe where to find GED students after the fact. An unexpected outcome was my newfound passion for intervention itself. So realizing that being proactive is always better than being reactive, and also realizing that the middle school years are the critical years for whether or not students feel engaged and connected, and that might actually help set them up for success and set them on a path where they don't feel like they are ignored or left out once they get into high school. And hopefully by creating those relationships, it will better keep them engaged and interested in being there. So what I did learn is that most schools do have RTI or response to intervention programs. But what I would like to do is think about flipping that on its head and actually asking the students what it is that they want from intervention. So currently, response to intervention is guided by teachers, and it should be. Teachers are a very critical component to intervention. They need to have a voice in the process, and they need to have input. But I think that students also need that input. They need to be able to say this is working or this isn't working, and maybe even have a voice in what they're learning or how they're learning. Especially those students that are struggling, they may have opinions and ideas about what would better help them, so we need to take the time to ask. Knowing that intervention programs are needing to sound appealing to students to get them excited about going. So we need to think about how we're naming the intervention program, such as something like Academic Academy or something like that, might help it be a little more appealing. I also want to think about taking intervention and offering it to everybody in the school. So I think once you have taken away the idea that only certain kids need intervention, but putting it out there that everybody gets to go to intervention will keep some of the kids from feeling like they are being labeled or spotlighted. And that was one of the things that came up in my interview, is that they don't want to feel as though everybody knows that they need help. So if we have intervention open for everybody and everybody gets to go, that might help everybody become connected to the process. So it would also possibly take some of the differentiation concerns off of the teacher, because we're able to break these students out into smaller groups and be able to work with them in a more intimate way. In this way, we're promoting inclusion and connectedness, and everybody gets the opportunity to go, and school is supposed to be about opportunity, so that seems to make sense to me. It would also allow us to explore different ways of teaching and different ways of learning and learning styles. Breaking them out into the intimate groups will also allow us to react quickly when the students' needs change. Another thing that I discovered was extracurricular activities would definitely be a way to keep kids engaged and connected to the school. It offers them social interaction, and it gives them things to do after school. And it really provides a more vibrant school atmosphere. So sometimes the school culture can really play a part in the students' learning and excitement about being there. So having different groups or clubs or things that the students can belong to, and having a very wide variety of interests for all of the students, might be another way to keep them connected to the school, to their classmates, and to their teachers, which would then provide maybe a more proactive support system. So that was my biggest takeaway, was connectedness is very important for students in order to them to feel valued. So valued is the key.